Hey, I'm Daryll.
And I'm Greg.
We're on a journey on
the long and winding road
to share with you the glorious gift of
music.
We've had the privilege of making a lot of friends, and now we finally have the chance to sit down and have a conversation about their
long and winding road
and share with us the glorious gift of their
music.
So,
relax and rewind it back.
On that note, here's On That Note
with Daryll
and Greg.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of On That Note with Daryll and Greg. I, of course, am Daryll and this is Greg.
We are on the fifth
episode, dude.
I don't know why this felt necessary, but
fifth episode. High five for the fifth episode.
Fifth episode.
What?
And this is a very special episode because it includes two of my favorite people in the whole world, and also amazing musicians. These guys have done it all. They've done grunge, alternative rock, metal, prog, and then after that, electronic pop duo.
Bruh, what? Really?
Crazy. Anyways, please welcome our dear neighbors from Guwahati, Amitabh and Siddhart Barooa.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lucid Recess or Lateral.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's amazing. I've been watching the last episodes of On That Note. Very nice what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
So this is a thing we do with everyone who comes on the show. We take them on a journey. Even for them, I know a lot of people find that very difficult, in fact, to go back and, relive
the beginning,
some of the good stuff that happened. Well, so we do that with everyone, and obviously we want you guys to take us, everyone, on a journey on how you guys began, how all this thing came about, and, the journey that you guys have been through all those years. It must be crazy, I'm pretty sure.
I'll keep it very brief and all the way through. So we are brothers. He's the elder one. I'm the younger one, so we've been playing music and listening to music from a very young age. We got introduced to rock music by our uncles and older cousins when I was 6 years old, he was 9, and my first album that I ever bought was when I was in class 1. It was by Iron Maiden, and so we got really hooked to rock music from a very early age, and we never got out of that. We could never hear any other kind of music till much later in life, and so we always had this thing about wanting to play music, and then we both started playing guitar, and then over the years when he got better at guitar and I couldn't keep up, so I switched. I wanted to be a drummer, but then it would look very nice being a drummer and singing at the same time, so I thought maybe I should move to the bass, then it will be an easier transition. Then so we went with that, and we always had this thing about writing our own stuff. We enjoyed writing originals, even when we were kids. Even it's crappy music, but we still like composing our own stuff and then recording on the tape recorder.
We used to have 2 tape recorders to record in a multi-track back in the day, but then the sound quality would be very bad, but still we'd be so proud how it comes out.
See, because that's very innovative for youngsters to do stuff like that,
We did that for a long time till we and then when we were in college, I think then we first came across digital software. We started with Cool Edit. Then Cool Edit Pro, FL Studios.
This time it was called Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
I think everyone has a Fruity Loops beginning.
That's where we learned to program drums.
And all from Fruity Loops to Cubase. Then finally, when we were both in college, it was in his master's, I was in my graduation. Then we started recording our own songs, and then we just did a couple of shows and we got a good response, and we got that encouragement. And we've been writing a lot of songs, so we thought maybe everyone is always doing covers whenever we go to see a show.
Right.
So we thought maybe let's follow a different trend. Let's not participate in any competition at all.
Right.
Let's only write originals and do whatever show we get 100% original. So we did that for a long time, for almost 8 years before we started doing any covers at all. And then and we released the first EP also on that note. Like all the collection of all the songs. So that was also like of very genres, like under the broad umbrella of alternative rock music, but then some were heavy, some were like more poppy, but then so we released our first EP like that.
Right.
And from then on, it's been a fun journey.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that EP you're talking about, that's Carved, right?
It's carved by Lucid Recess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That was in 2008. Yeah.
So Carved, if for a lot of people who don't know, Carved is one. Actually, to me, the heaviest EP, I think.
Right.
It
Very
has
trashy.
Yeah. Like thrash metal,
Yeah,
reminds me of
dude.
Megadeth somehow.
Some Metallica stuff in there. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude.
And it's mad, but you guys still took those elements and you went into, I think 2 years later, 2010, you guys put out your first album.
Debut album, full length.
Yes, In Grave Invitation. Everyone should go check this one out. So yeah, tell us about In Grave Invitation.
Yeah, like your shift in sound, or your shift in, like, basically the path of the band.
Yeah. It changed a lot in both aspects, but it was like one of our quickest albums. Like after we finished writing Carved, then we did a lot of good shows, and then we got a lot of reviews also. So we started working on the second album, and then we wrote that album in a very short span of time.
Right.
And then we learned a lot also in between, because we opened our studio also by the time we released Carved. So we had recorded a few bands, we got more experience in recording, and then lyrically we were trying to be more creative, like trying to write songs a little on a different, more personal note.
Right.
And then wider, and then so we wrote a lot of songs. Okay, finally, like we were first initially thinking about 15 songs, but then no one is going to listen to 15 songs. So finally, we cut down to 12 songs. And then,
Yes, that was like you guys had. You guys
complete
had
album. An album was like proper album. All the songs written in India created. So that's like a proper album.
Yeah,
Right.
you could actually,
Right.
you could actually hear the progression from Carve into Engraved Invitation. Like there's a good progress there, and the production was so good. And also you guys won, I think, the Toto Music Awards that year for this album.
Yeah.
That was. So 2012, I think, was the time when a lot of bands also probably listening to that type of music, and you guys you were probably the best at doing it in the country. So, I mean, so talk to us about that. I mean, it must have been good validation for you guys to win such an award and have that support for you guys. Like, okay, there is someone that recognizes our body of work.
and the surprising thing, like we've been applying to Toto since like 2007. Okay, but we never. And that the year when we won, we didn't apply for Toto. Okay, so that year all the applications for GIR,
Right.
they were also sent to Toto Awards through GIR. So
Right.
the year that we didn't apply, finally that year we got.
Wow. Fate, no? Fate.
Well,
I guess
it
at
works out.
the end of the day, fate, right? Like you manifest something you've worked hard for, right?
And also, speaking of Great Indian Rock, that was like our main motivation.
Yeah, main motivation for
the album in a car.
the album. Because we've been buying RSJ since like I was 2 years. I was in class 2, like since '94. We've been buying RSJ, and
we
one
always
day we
seen
want to be on this compilation.
Yeah, and you guys played the show.
One of the bands to not get into Great Indian Rock.
Right?
Yeah.
But, never a band from had ever been there. So we always wanted to be the first one.
So
There you go, man.
And then
Right.
came out to.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
It's just like manifestation, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just you work hard enough for something and it comes to you, man. You know, you manifests somehow. You just have to believe, right? And work hard enough for it and want it bad enough. So yeah, there we go, man.
And you guys did not stop there. I mean, it was, you guys already won an award. That was probably one of the best albums of that year.
Yeah.
But you still went on, and even though you took more time, I think it was worth it, when it came out, 2015. This is your third album, Alive and Aware. It's
man.
also my favorite album, and you have so many good songs there. Wireless Junkies was there, and Dead Deep End, and there was so many good songs.
And bass tone.
Yeah, bass tone.
I was just telling Greg when we were at Carnival show at Weekender, bass tone, man. And there are certain moments where you just hear a certain bass tone and you're just like, yep, that's the one.
Yeah,
so maybe you could walk us through that. Walk us through your production process for Alive and Aware.
Yeah.
Your choice of tones. How did you come about choosing these particular tones and stuff like that?
That one came to be our most prominent, proper work. We invested a lot of time into it in writing and composing, because the songs, and we took a very progressive approach by that album. And we were really influenced by Carnival and Tool. I went to watch them when they came into Mood Indigo in 2011. So I was like, the minute I saw, let's go watch Carnival, then we can go to Goa for a couple of days.
Yeah. That was for you guys. That was the vacation. No, watching Carnival. That was the vacation.
Yeah, I think that was. So, and then this album, we really worked it took a long time. Also, we finished writing the song, but then overall everything, by finishing it took almost 5 years from our second album.
Right.
And then we so in terms of tones, we
spent a lot of time.
Spent a lot of time, worked a lot. In that 5 years, we recorded almost 100 different. We worked with 100 different artists from Guwahati, Meghalaya, Nagaland, and other parts also. Right. And then that time it was the metal era. We were working with most of the upcoming and good metal bands and rock bands. So we also got a very good experience for mixing, mastering, production, working with tones, because of working with a very range of bands. And we had a clear direction, we wanted it to be very heavy, but at the same time we want that warmth in the tone. And so I got a new bass also. Before that I was using the Fender Precision bass. I still use it, but then I got a very good deal from Potatos for a Warwick thumb. So I got the thumb, then with the thumb and the dark glass and XFX, we worked a lot, and then finally we came up with the massive tone.
What was Siddhart's tone on there? How did Siddhart get his guitar tones on? I use the
XFX for all the tones, guitars, And if I remember correctly, I was Mesa Boogie dual rectifier, for all the amp tones,
Right.
The heavy tones, and clean or mid gain tones, I used the plexi amp.
Right.
So those were the core tones. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for his bass, it was the dark glass. Yeah.
And the song, this has my favorite bass line on the album, man. Changes Our Soul was crazy. What was that bass approach there?
Right.
It was so mind blowing. And the first time I heard it, I was
singing over that bass part, that high pitch, dude. What?
And I want to understand what was the approach, to writing that bass line and thinking of it like that. I mean, that was the most progressive thing that I've ever heard in a long time. Yeah.
Changes Our Soul, it actually took a very different turn by the end of it. So I started just writing the song on an acoustic guitar. First it was on an acoustic bass song, and slower tempo. Then most of our songs from 11 Hour have been that, Dead Deep End, I wrote it on the piano. Even Wireless Junkies was acoustic initially before we made it into a song, proper song. So Changes Our Soul also. So we wanted, that time we were just, that was just after Engraved Invitation, and we wanted to change the direction of our music in something groovy, fast, and we were very influenced by more influenced by progressive music back then. So we wanted that element also. And our drummer back then, Partha, he was full on into let's do whatever we can. So
the drums on there.
Over time,
that was crazy drumming. I remember, man, hearing it was the first time hearing it was crazy. Yeah, and it's still, even till now, I'm still whoa, what is the time signature on this thing?
we had to practice for almost 3 months properly before we could perform that song live, because for me also it was very difficult with the bass and vocals. Almost 3 months. The first time we performed that song was in the first edition of Zero, and I screwed up badly, and it's still embarrassing now when I think about it. Like the high notes, but that was a lesson learned.
Yeah, but you guys had some really good songs. There's another one that I really remember from that album is Dead Deep End.
And the music video.
Yeah.
Deep
Credit
End,
goes to
and
our
that
friends
music
from
video.
Shillong. They did everything.
Yeah. So shout out to
Shillong
Kamki,
boys.
I think Nat was.
The drone. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Nat, and then who else?
Shout out Shillong.
Yeah. Also shout out to Indrakshi.
Hey.
Indrakshi, she
Definitely. And she also made the jump also.
That was a very scary job.
with the suitcase and like
Was this like also around the same time where you guys started experimenting with Lateral, or was that something that you guys had already started like in the beginning, like way before all of this?
Not specifically Lateral, but because we've been always like very inclined towards writing music and making music, right? So with Lucid Recess, we were feeling by that time we were feeling a bit too compartmentalized. Like we always working with one type of music. Like we want to explore more. We had many ideas which can't fit into the Lucid Recess sound.
Right.
So we thought instead of like changing the band in any way, we don't want to taint Lucid Recess. We want to keep it as it is. Whenever we get a show, we perform. Whenever we'll release whenever we can. But then so we thought we'll start a parallel project. That's why we call it Lateral. It's like parallel from Lucid Recess. And then like so whatever we can't do here, and we wanted to keep that electronic base because we also been enjoying like with parties, with clubs, electronic music. We've grown to enjoy it very much, and so we wanted to experiment and then experiment electronic with other genres that we can fuse it with.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your first album as Laterals, Volume 1, right? Let's talk about the production of it and like how was it, that switch, you know?
Yeah, it was more like when we uploaded it on Spotify and everywhere like Apple Music, then we named it as Volume 1, but actually it was like we released an EP called Us. Okay, so Us, we were very...
Right.
It was like
And then-
homage to Tool.
It was our homage to Tool, like
Lateral.
Lateral, so Lateral and
Okay. God, how did I miss that, man? Yo, okay. Hey, I dig it. Cool.
and then
After then we came out with a couple of singles, and then we all combined
We
them and then
combined
released
them
as in a volume.
Volume 1.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And we started with a very house music approach, house music with like filled with guitars. Like on our recordings, you won't hear much guitars, but then live shows, like most of the songs, it has a more rock vibe along with the electronics, like with more guitars and vocals. And on some songs, I play the bass also, but very rarely. And so like we took a very house approach the first few releases. And then we started experimenting more with down-tempo sounds, and now again we are working with. We wrote a lot of songs in this lockdown period, so we want to plan it out how, and it's like some are very techno-based and a couple of them are like still down. So we want to finish the down-tempo ones first, then we'll go on to
The last songs have been like the chill vibe in a very lo-fi,
Yeah.
chill and instrumental songs. Our last songs.
Right, yeah, exactly. Fleeting.
Also learned play the saxophone, so we have included that as well.
Right.
And this is where saxophone Amitabh comes out.
in. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
I have to still practice and learn about. Yeah, you would think.
This is what I mean, man. Like you
Yeah.
guys, I think, are like the best in terms of like the best presentation or the best example in terms of a complete package,
Yeah.
right? Like as recording artists, as producers, as a live act. Like, man, you guys have done it all, right? And you can do it all, and not just do it, but you guys can do it like very, very well, you know? So yeah, man, this is, I think, a lot of these youngsters and newcomers and even us, man, I think we could benefit a lot. And I think you guys have a lot of like knowledge to impart on like us.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Who want to follow that.
Actually,
same
this
path.
is one question I've always wanted to ask you guys. Like, what made you want to produce your own stuff? You know, I mean, when you think about it now, like a lot of people produce their own stuff already, so probably it's not a big thing. But back then, you guys already started doing this in 2008. I think you had already produced your own stuff. I mean, you went to the studio, recorded everything, mixed everything, mastered everything. I mean, that was mad. So what made you want to go down this direction of self-producing everything?
I think it mainly had to do because we were already in that mindset. No, we were already recording and we were trying to sound good in our home. We were already doing that. And then once we set up the studio, and then so we had to try and become better like at production. The best place to experiment was on our own songs. Right. So we just never, and then I think it came very naturally.
Yeah. Even before the studio, always we are like, trying to, write our own songs and then, record. And, and I was obsessed with like, guitar tones and drum tones, like, snare and all, I spent like days and days, just trying to come up one snare tone or like, guitar tones, how they do it, trying to crack the code. So, that kind of, got into us, So that's like a natural progression, So
I think it took us almost a year, like before we recorded Angry Pig Edition, to get a nice, like after recording Carb, we realized where things went wrong, like the drum sounds. Like only a good guitar tone is not going to make this song sound good. You need like the drum tone, then the cymbals are specifically cymbals so important, then the bass tone. So we started working on that. And
So, we always liked, these things, producing stuff, so that's why it came so naturally, because we are always doing that.
I think you guys have set a standard.
Yep.
You know what I mean? In terms of, I think, like I said earlier about like manifesting, like believing in something and working for something, and not just like not caring about anything else in terms of reaching your goals, right? I think you guys are the best example of hard work and what hard work will get you if you focus on it, and if you work towards it. It's all manifestation, man. And you guys are brilliant. I really dig you guys, man, for this. Like,
Well, these guys have done everything so far, so much already, but we only have time for one song, and unfortunately, we wish we could hear Lucid Recess.
A set, you know what I mean? Like a lateral set for like... Oh.
So let's move to that. You guys have a song up for us?
Definitely. We can play, since you guys also like the saxophone and even I'm new at this, so let's play an instrumental song that we released from Lateral called Old Fashioned.
All right. And on that note, here is Laterals with Old Fashioned.
Old Fashioned.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Welcome
that
back, welcome
was
back.
that was
That was a very nice performance.
yeah, that was old-fashioned by Laterals.
And
Damn, smooth, man.
you had Amitabh there with the saxophone.
Smooth.
And I noticed Siddharth's playing more clean guitars, Telecaster. Yeah.
The telly's the twang.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So we're moving on. This is a segment on the show. This is a rapid fire round. Everyone has to have one.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you don't have a rapid fire, nobody watches.
Is it a game
right?
show if you don't have a rapid fire?
Yep. So let's
But
move
it's not
on
a game
to that.
show, it's a talk show.
This is rapid fire with Lateral / Lucid Recess.
All right, guys. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask you a bunch of questions, and you guys have 5 seconds to answer. All right. So we're gonna ask one question, and then you two will take turns answering. So Amitabh, you can go first. Then Siddharth, you can go after. All right. 5 seconds now. Greg is gonna keep count. Are you
All
ready,
right.
Greg?
Yes.
All right, guys. Are you ready for your rapid fire questions? Oh.
Yes.
All right. First question. Who is your favorite artist that you have worked with?
Count of five.
Summersalt.
Hey! Not fair.
Sid?
Well, we digital suicide. You know, they were our first client.
First
you know.
client.
Nice.
Yeah, back then they were known as Ahimsa.
And the most fun client.
Big shout out. Big shout outs. All right. Second question. What is the best venue you have played at?
Count of five.
In Northeast, it's evening club for sure.
Yeah, same evening club.
Boom.
And otherwise, it'll be Humming Tree. I really like performing at Humming Tree.
Boom.
Okay. Third question. What's the favorite song that you guys love to play live?
1, 2.
And for me, it's Wireless Junkies.
Wireless Junkies. All right.
I Lucid Recess.
Yeah, I think while Lucid Recess, for me also it's Wireless Junkies.
Right.
And with Lateral, I can't say for sure now. My favorite song is to play Tado by FKJ because we've been covering that a lot.
All right. Nice. Epic.
All right. Fourth question. The best band you've ever seen live?
1,
Live.
2.
I think it was Carnival, yeah. They were an amazing live band.
Yeah. Carnival for sure, and Carnival and Meshuggah.
Oh yes, you have to have both the giants. there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Right. Fifth and final question. If you weren't playing music, what would you be doing?
So that's a tough one.
We'll have released lots of figures, but then when I was young, I wanted to be in police officer, so maybe that. IPS Amitabh Barooa.
Oh.
I don't even know how to answer that. You know, and I'm probably doing something like in the same lines only, creative lines. Okay.
So I guess Sid's an artist.
Sid is the guy who's, if he was not a musician, he'll probably be a producer anyway. So
Right.
he'll be, or maybe just like a mix engineer or something. But
something in the same line.
yeah.
The artist for sure, man. Let's go to another segment of the show that we like so much, and this one is called Record
of the week. So you have to tell us one of your favorite album, any album that has shaped your career or has shaped your sound or that has just influenced you. Basically. Yeah.
For me, my favorite album would be like for all the years. I think the albums I've most listened to is 10,000 Days by Tool. So I think that would be my favorite album. What about you?
Yeah, and for me, it would be Appetite for Destruction. I found the album. When I was growing up, literally a teenager, and it had stayed with me till now, and probably till the end.
Classic.
Nice.
That always be biggest influence.
So yeah, man. So let's wrap this up. It's been a really nice time talking to you guys. I think everyone will learn a lot from this. Yeah, and remember, you can do it too. These guys have self-produced everything, recorded everything.
Yeah. Thank you for paving the way for us to see and follow and basically be more independent with the art that we're making. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I hope we get to see more of Laterals doing not just shows but workshops and talking to more like young musicians coming up, because we all need that. We all need to see how y'all are doing it, how y'all can help us do it as well, you know? So thank you for agreeing to come on the show and for talking with us, man. That means a lot. That means so much. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Before we leave, so just tell us what you have going on. Tell us what the future looks like for both Lucid Recess and Laterals, what you have going on in the pipeline, and new EPs, new music, new art. The floor is yours, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. So with Lucid Recess, we finished writing the entire fourth album almost 3 years back. In 2007 only we finished writing, but then we only released Cell from that album, Cell and This Alarming Calm.
Okay.
We released one more song, Blind Man, but that was just a one-off. So like we finally want to work. This album is much heavier than before and slightly less progressive, more groovy.
Yeah, more straightforward.
And so we want to start releasing early next year and one single at a time.
Right.
So, and then I hope you guys, whoever listened to Lucid Recess and have been a fan of our music, then you guys stay tuned. And with Lateral, we have a lot of collaborations on pipeline. The next one is coming out with your bandmate Greg, and with Andrea on vocals as well.
Nice,
and then
nice.
I'm really looking forward to it. And then we have one more that's a little further down the pipeline with Uttipan Sharma on vocals. We have a little more time, and a few more artists from Guwahati we are collaborating. And then we have one full length dark dance EP from Lateral, like that has like killer fast tones, like ring modulator and fast tones with
Is that GHS file?
Yeah, JHS.
Yeah. Once people properly start partying again, then we can release that album. Otherwise, it's no point listening to it.
True.
And then I really want to encourage all you guys to catch Do Temptation when they perform next time. Like when I saw you guys in Tera Maya,
it was
one of
so cool, man. It was so killer.
And one of the best shows by an Eastern band, like by an Indian band I've seen in a long time. When I saw you guys perform at Tera, very nice.
Such energy.
And then that song Evil Mind, I liked it when I heard it there, and then when you released it, also killer.
Yeah. Very nice. Can't wait to see you guys next time.
We're hoping to perform together soon, man. It's great. So just hope like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we have come to the end.
Thank you, guys. We would like to thank them once again,
show.
I think.
Yes, thank you.
We can't thank them enough.
And Siddhart.
Also, go watch these guys live, you know.
Yeah.
Go watch these guys live. And they will probably be putting out more music. So make sure you check that one out. And go to all the links below. I think they'll all be down. Yes, lucidrecess.com. You can check that out. You can follow them on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, anywhere. Just follow them everywhere. And
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much for coming.
It was a pleasure. And
Pleasure is all I have.
We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, man. Hope to see you guys soon. Thanks, Amitabh and Siddhart. Thanks, man.
Be safe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg, Daryll.
Yeah. Daryll. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.